This video is about using visual strategies to solve word problems. We'll be using strip diagrams and then relating them to traditional algebra. So let's look at our problem. Altogether, Diego and Jan have 64 grapes. After Diego eats 4 of his grapes, he has twice as many grapes as Jan. How many grapes did Diego have to begin with? So let's get started. We have Diego's grapes, and we have Jan's grapes. And we notice that at some point, Diego has twice as many grapes as Jan. So I'm going to represent Jan's grapes with a single box and Diego's grapes with twice as many boxes. I'm going to attempt to have my boxes be about the same size because in the end, I want the value of each individual box to be the same. All right, so let's look at the rest of the problem. I'm building on my twice as many grapes as Jan, but that only happened after Diego ate 4 of his grapes. So to start with, he had an additional 4 grapes. Then altogether, they have 64 grapes. And that's the setup to my problem, and I'm ready to solve it. My goal is to have equal sized parts represent some value. Right now, this 4 is getting in my way. So I'm going to subtract 4 from this side. But that's changed my total number of grapes, so I have to subtract 4 here and adjust to have 60 total grapes because I wanted to have just my equal sized parts with no extras. Okay, now that I have 3 equal sized parts represent 60 grapes, I can figure out the value of 1 part. Then it's a straightforward calculation to get to the answer. Diego had 44 grapes. Looking back, now I can double check. 20, 40, 60 plus 4 is 64. Looks good. Now let's relate our strip diagram to our traditional algebra. Here I want to understand that these boxes that I drew correspond to variables. Let's go ahead and assign variables. We'll let x be the number of grapes that Jan has, and y be the number of grapes that Diego has. But right away I can see that I can write y in terms of x. Y is 2x plus 4. I know that my total number of grapes initially was 64. So the number of grapes that Diego has plus the number of grapes that Jan has equals 64. Now I have 2 equations and 2 unknowns. I have a system of equations and I can solve. I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to replace the y with 2x plus 4 because that's what I know that y is equal to. This corresponds to my strip diagram. 2x plus 4 plus x was 64. I'm going to combine my x's. I'll have 3x plus 4 equals 64. And then I'm going to subtract 4 from each side because I want to maintain my equality. That matches. We got rid of our 4 here. We subtracted it off. We had 3 parts, or 3x, equals 60. Now we want to find the value of one part, so 60 divided by 3. If we come down to our algebra, to isolate the variable to get x alone on one side, I have to divide both sides by 3. And I end up with x equals 20, just like I found that one box had the value of 20. Then I can come back up here to figure out the number of grapes that Diego has, 2x plus 4. And Diego had 44 grapes.